Every single time you power up your phone, something amazing happens, way faster than you can even blink. There's this silent, super fast conversation that kicks off between your device and that tiny little chip inside, the SIM card. It's kind of like a secret handshake, and it's what unlocks your entire mobile identity. So let's eavesdrop a bit, shall we? Let's figure out exactly what they're saying to each other.
So, what's the very first thing they talk about? You might think it's about your contacts or your data plan, but nope, it's something way more fundamental, a negotiation that has to happen before literally anything else can. And that's the big question we're going to dig into right now.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to follow this whole conversation from the very beginning. We'll start with that first handshake, then we'll see the electrical hello. After that, we'll watch them negotiate a common language, take a little peek inside the SIM's digital filing cabinet, and finally, see how your mobile identity gets unlocked.
Okay, first things first, let's meet the two main characters in our story. It's a classic partnership, really, two sides that absolutely need each other to get the job done. Here's a simple way to think about it. Your phone? Well, it's got the power, right? But the SIM card? It's got the keys. The technical name for your phone is the terminal, or UE. It's the host that's trying to connect to the network. And the SIM card, or more accurately the brains inside it, is called the UICC. That's the Universal Integrated Circuit Card. It's basically the guardian of your mobile identity.
So how do they even start this chat? Well, before any data, any ones and zeros, can be exchanged, you need a physical connection. And it all kicks off with a literal jolt of power.
It's a really simple three-step process. First, your phone senses the card is there and shoots some power to its contacts. Then, it sends what's called a reset signal. Think of it like a digital tap on the shoulder, saying, "Hey, you awake in there?" And finally, the SIM card, now all powered up, sends back its very first message, the answer to reset.
And this answer to reset, or ATR for short, is so important. It's basically the SIM card handing over its digital business card. In that one tiny message, it tells the phone everything it needs to know to get a real conversation started, like who it is, what it's capable of, and the communication rules it understands.
It's pretty amazing how much they pack into that first little message. The ATR is broken down into different fields. The TS part just confirms, yep, I'm here, I'm talking. Then you have the interface bytes, which are like a menu of languages or protocols the SIM can speak. And finally, the historical bytes are kind of like the About Me section on a profile. Info like who made the card and what version it is.
Okay, so they've said their hellos. The phone now knows what the SIM can do. What's next? Well, now they need to agree on the best and, more importantly, the fastest way to talk to each other.
This little negotiation is called Protocol and Parameter Selection, or PPS. It's a pretty smart move. Based on that digital business card the SIM handed over, the phone can basically say, "Hey, great to meet you. I see you can speak these faster languages. How about we switch to one of those and speed this whole thing up?"
And the handshake is super straightforward. The phone sends a PPS request, asking something like, "Can we use this faster mode to talk?" And if the SIM is cool with it, it just echoes that same request right back. That echo is the confirmation, like a digital handshake, saying, "Yep, sounds good to me. The new, faster rules are now active."
All right, they've got a stable, high-speed connection. Now the real work begins. The phone needs to find your identity, and to do that, it's got to navigate the SIM card. The best way to picture this is to think of the SIM as a tiny, super secure digital filing cabinet.
From here on out, all their messages are sent in a format called APDU. Now don't let the name scare you. An APDU is just a structured digital message. It's a simple system. The phone sends a command APDU, and the SIM replies with a response APDU. That's it, a constant back and forth of instructions and results.
So what's the phone's very first command? It sends a command to select what's called the master file. You can really think of the SIM's file system just like the folders on your computer. This master file, with the address 3F00, is the main root directory. It's like telling the computer to open the C drive. You have to start there before you can find anything else.
In response, the SIM sends back a message. And the most important part, the bit the phone is really looking for, is that little code at the end, 9000. In the world of smart cards, that's the universal code for success, or got it, command executed perfectly. The phone now knows it's officially inside the main lobby.
But see, the phone isn't just looking for any old file. It's searching for a very specific application, the one that holds your mobile identity. And it can't just browse around. It has to use a unique, unforgeable address called an application ID or AID.
So the phone sends another select command, but this time it includes that super long string of characters you see there. That is the exact unforgeable address for the USIM application, which is the modern standard for our mobile identity. It's basically like dialing a very, very specific extension number to get to exactly the right person in a giant company.
And just like that, the handshake is complete. The phone has found and fired up the right application. So what does this all mean for you, holding the phone?
Let's recap what this secret handshake just accomplished in a split second. They powered up a stable connection. Check. They agreed on clear rules for talking. Check. The phone successfully navigated the SIM's filing cabinet. Check. And, most important of all, it selected and activated the USIM application. Your mobile identity is now officially unlocked and ready to go.
And this is the bedrock for everything else your phone does. With that USIM application active, your phone can now securely grab the information it needs, perform all the necessary security checks with the network, and finally, get you connected. So you can actually make calls, send texts, and browse the internet. So the introduction is over. The phone and the SIM are now on the same page, ready to work together. Which of course leads to the next big question. Now that they've shaken hands, what's the very first secret they need to share to prove your identity to the network? Well, that is a story for another explainer.